Welcome my crafty crew. This is my front door entry mat that I created on my Cricut design space. It had a few minor spots on it. It was lightly used for a couple of weeks. I got this front door mat from Costco, and I believe it's a warehouse only item, but I will put the link for you to be able to purchase it. And I just took my Bissell spot cleaner and it tackled the job. It was some mild stains on it, and it took me a few minutes to get these spots out of it. I'm so satisfied with the job, but I did purchase another one for backup if it didn't remove the spots, but thankfully I didn't have to use it, and my Bissell spot cleaner did the job wonderfully. And it's so satisfying. You can, if you take a good look, you can see the solution coming up on the handle, and I just sprayed the solution. I put the solution that it came with in the box, and I sprayed it. I let it sit for a few minutes, and I let it air dry outside, and that's the completed mat. And here are the materials that I use. I used the apple barrel black outdoor paint. I got some bristle brushes from the Dollar Tree, and this is the design that I created on Design Space. I'll also share that link if you want to use this, and you can customize it, personalize it with your own family's name, or if you want to make these for Christmas gifts for family, friends, and loved ones, or if you want to sell them. It's up to you. So I got the vinyl from, I believe, Dollar Tree. This was some book covers, I think it says, but it actually stuck better than I do have the Cricut stencil vinyl, and this stuck to the mat that I had actually a little bit better. I started off by printing it all, or cutting it all, I should say, on one mat, a 12 by 24 mat. But as you can see, as you will see later on, the wording was too close for me for the mat, and it's a pretty good size mat that I got from Costco. I have double doors. So I wanted a good sized mat to fit my double door entryway. So I wanted to space the wording a little bit further apart than the 12 by 24 allowed. So prior to, doing your painting, make sure you space out your wording. This is me weeding out all the vinyl, and this is the Dollar Tree book cover / vinyl that I got. So I'm, reverse weeding, taking out the parts that I want to paint on. So I'm leaving the parts that I don't want paint to get on, and that's how it will be placed on the mat. This is me peeling it off the mat, preparing to put it on my front door mat. And because this is a standard grip mat, it's sticking pretty well to my Cricut mat, so I was struggling to get it off without removing the paper backing, which I was able to do, but this is how it ended up. I had to, separate good vibes only onto different mats, and then I did my placement and my measurements to see where I wanted to align all my wording on the entry mat. And those were the paint brushes that I got from Dollar Tree. They're flat bristle brushes. They're like plastic, not, if you can find the hair type ones, that would work as well. But just take your time when you're doing the paint, making sure that the vinyl is adhered nicely to the mat so you don't have any bleeding or seeping through the vinyl underneath or lifting. So take your time. This is it sped up. This actually took me probably about 15 to 20 minutes, if not more, to do this application, do this part of it. But it was very fun, and I hope you guys enjoy this project and you're able to benefit from this. It brought a nice, decor to my pretty simple front doorway, and it's a pretty sturdy mat. It doesn't stain very easily. I did put a clear protective spray after I stenciled all the paint and removed the stencil. I did place an adhesive spray. I can link all the materials that were used, will be linked in the video below if you want to see and purchase those same items. The fonts that I used were either from the Cricut Access subscription, or I may have downloaded it from the font. I want to say the only font was called Friday, and the Good Vibes font and the Joseph 24/7 was called Chong. Hold on, let's see. Chong Modern Pro. That's what it was called. So this was done a couple weeks back. I want to say either in the transition of my computer. It was a little hard for me to find those fonts, so I want to say it's either was Cricut Access font, or the font is usually where I get most of my fonts from. And I believe I may have bolded the Chong, CHONG, the Chong Modern Pro. I may have bolded it. That's also an option so that it can be even more vibrant and bolded. Those natural hair type of mats, they shed a little bit, and that's just not my decor aesthetic. So I wanted something that was more kid-friendly and more of my design aesthetic. So I really enjoyed and liked this mat and the look of this mat. So I wanted to try it out, and I've had it for a couple months now, and it seems to be holding up fairly well. But I believe they sell those natural hair type mats almost a lot of places. I believe Target sells a version of it. IKEA also has a really inexpensive one, and it's a good, decent sized one that I believe they sell for about $7.99, around $8. If you're into that aesthetic, you can also get those if you want to make these as gifts or for sell or to sell. Please feel free. I hope this video helps you out and gives you, some inspiration on, taking something that you may not have seen done before and using it to your liking and to your design aesthetic. So this took a little bit of time, and this is now me peeling and removing. I let it dry for a few minutes, and I just started to take them off. I somehow missed the S, and the S got some bleeding, but it still looks pretty good. You can still tell that's an S, and that's the finished look. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this DIY.